The role of NBA shooting guards and small forwards has shifted dramatically, and so have the metrics used to measure their success. I'm not talking about high-usage stars, I'm talking about the game's best role players. This trend explains why basketball doesn't just have the same flavor as it used to. It's not about the three-pointers. The changes that teams have made recently have eliminated the ball movement that we used to love.
Kawhi back to Mills, now to Joseph. 5 on the clock. Corey spots Leonard. Red Rocket for 3.
But first, hit that subscribe button. We're working hard on these videos, hoping to reach 5,000 subscribers, and your support means a lot to us. Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at Jrue Holiday, for example, and look at how his stats have been trending in recent seasons. This year, Holiday averaged his lowest turnover totals in his entire career. And if we look at his advanced metrics like turnover percentage or turnovers, tells the same story. Holiday ain't coughing it up. Meanwhile, all his assist metrics have dropped dramatically as well. Sure, Holiday's role may have diminished with age, but he remains an elite role player on one of the best teams in the NBA. The truth is that his role has changed more than his actual skill set, and he's just part of the trend. Let's take a look at Alex Caruso. Definitely not past his prime. His turnover percentage and turnover per possession metrics have dropped dramatically as well this season. Another guy who's considered a Swiss Army knife that contributes to winning basketball. And the list goes on. Lou Dort, Christian Brown, and Peyton Pritchard all averaged career lows in turnover percentage this past year. Meanwhile, there's another trend going on simultaneously. This past season, 13 players 6'6" or shorter had an offensive rebounding percentage of 4% or higher, the most guard-sized players to do so ever. Interestingly, if we look at this list of culprits, it's a handful of the players I mentioned along with many other role players on some of the best teams in the league. In fact, 11 of the 13 players that did so were on teams that went to the second round of the playoffs. So what is the point I'm trying to make? How are offensive rebounds and turnovers related? Role players nowadays are just looking to win the possession battle. How many possessions can they steal for their team by getting on the offensive glass? And above all else, don't turn over the basketball. Sounds obvious, I know. But when we dig deeper, this trend is actually what is sort of ruining basketball, or at least making it less entertaining, or at least that's my opinion. It's the fact that role players are no longer encouraged to pass or dribble. Instead, just launch it and hustle. Things weren't always this way. Let's go back to the year 2014, when the San Antonio Spurs were the model franchise in the NBA. They won the championship with incredible teamwork and ball movement, averaging a league-leading 330 passes per game.
Diaw finds Mills, back to Ginobili, inside Splitter. Splitter has weight on him, head fake layup. Parker kicks it out. Leonard fakes the 3. Pass inside, Diaw to Duncan for the finish.
At the time, that was the model for success. A bunch of crafty Europeans like Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Marco Beninelli, and Boris Diaw set screens, cut back door, and played a sophisticated offense style that was like poetry in motion. Not a single player on that team averaged 30 minutes per game during the regular season. Yet somehow, by playing a system built by the legendary Greg Popovich, they managed to win 62 games in the regular season and eventually a championship. However, in time, things changed drastically. It started with James Harden, Mike D'Antoni, and the Houston Rockets. Using analytics, they shocked the league by shooting the most threes, only passing the ball about 250 times per game, and won 65 games, the best in the entire league.
But Utah is number 3. Harden. Harden steps back, fires. Go!
Harden shake and bake, steps back, three-pointer, bang!
I don't know that many people expected analytically sound basketball would work like that. They might have beaten the unbeatable Warriors too, had Chris Paul not gotten injured when Houston was up 3-2 in the conference final. Truth is, we'll never know what would have happened. All we do know is that weird James Harden-centric offense that was predicted off-step back jumpers, drawing fouls, and corner 3 balls changed the league as we know it. If we look at the league average of passes per game by team over the years, we can see that passing has continued to decline steadily throughout the past decade. This chart here clearly proves the decrease in passes. In 2016, NBA teams averaged over 300 passes per game. But year over year, that number has declined practically in sequence. Nowadays, passing is right near an all-time low at just about 277 passes per game. And when we acknowledge the increased pace of play and the fact that teams average more offensive possessions than ever before, it means that the amount of passes per possession has decreased even more dramatically. Analytics have determined that ball movement and teamwork comes with increased risk. Instead, players like Jason Tatum and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are assigned to take step backs and draw fouls, while the rest of the group tries to steal possessions from their opponents without giving them up. Basically, if you get the ball in your hands, coaches would rather see their role players fire it from far away than try to do anything creative. That's why the Celtics and Thunder both average under 280 passes per game, very low compared to league average. Unsurprisingly, both teams turn the ball over less than any other team in the league. The other teams that ranked in the bottom 4 in turnover percentage include the Pacers and the Cavs. So basically, ball control is the best indicator of success in today's NBA. While it would seem that the days when role players brought creativity and flair to the court could be over, there is some reason to believe that might not be the case. The Pacers were a surprise success story this year, and believe it or not, they averaged the most passes per game in the league while still keeping their turnover metrics amongst the lowest. For those of you that love ball movement, the Pacers offer a glimmer of hope that maybe teams can once again implement patience and passing into offense, traits that seemingly have been forgotten over time. But for now, expect plenty of teams to find role players with more of a launch and hustle approach. If you like this video, be sure to let us know by hitting the thumbs up button and subscribe to Sports Insights for more great videos to come. See you next time.